YouTube. Welcome to the Devstream 171 breakdown. We got a lot of news going around here. As you can see, the timer is still going. I am recording this live, but we have a lot to get through quite quickly. So, the next update is not going to be the Echoes of Duviri, and that is because, as they have stated, it is too big of an update to be an Echoes update, which is valid. It effectively is. It's just kind of ballooned to a size where it's more of a major update than it was previously. This update is the 7 Crimes of KULLERVO. KULLERVO being the new Warframe. This is going to be launching in June, and we have a lot of additions to discuss. So, Duviri. Horse races are coming back for this. There will be new characters in Duviri, including Duviri Ballas. There's going to be new corrupted decrees and potentially other decrees as well. Corrupted decrees are basically that Thrax is going to offer you a decree with an upside and a downside, and they will be, the one that they showed off is a minus 50% status duration plus 200% status chance, which is actually a compelling choice. So we're going to get a bunch of those, which should be very interesting. And then we have Duviri Soma chords for those of you that want all of the music collection. There are going to be new secrets on new and old islands. They did talk about this a little bit in that this is mostly going to be like lore-based things and not anything that's like you're going to have to discover. But it's just going to be kind of more flavor on all of the islands. The new one that we're going to be getting and also the older islands and stuff. There'll be just basically more stuff to find and see and do in that regard. The one thing they showed is they had like a Euleria like data pad that had like a quiz on it like you would see in like the quest, but just it was out in the world. Other stuff, static portals. So these are going to be, you can only do them if you have 7 decrees total, and it is post Auraworm. They are meant to be considerably harder, but they guarantee the reward of the new arcanes. There's going to be 3 of them per run. So after you do the Auraworm, they'll be marked on your map. You can do 3 more portals where you go down into the Undercroft in like a harder version of that. And this is going to be the way to get the arcanes. Notably, as it stands now, getting the arcanes is very, very slow. It's very, very hard to build sets of these arcanes. You can get like 1 daily and you get some weekly. And then if you go way deep into the circuit, you can maybe get some more with RNG. But this is going to be a guaranteed way to get 3 arcanes every run as long as you can do the Undercroft missions after Auraworm, which sounds fantastic. Seems like it's just fixing like the arcane economy for Duviri and adding more content to do that's going to be worth doing. So that seems great. We're also getting 2 new side activities for Duviri. There's going to be scouting with an owl and some kind of cavern treasure hunt. Not any really more details than the kind of just what it is generally. Also, Duviri Exterminate is changing to have an extra character. That extra character is some form of Captain Vor. So he's maybe Void Vor again, perhaps Incarnate Void Vor, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan, Super God, Super Saiyan, you know. And then we are also getting the gardening. The gardening was basically detailed to like be a little bit of work to get like free plants and stuff, like your Yao shrubs and all that stuff. So that'll be like, you know, a guaranteed way to get like some of that passively, which seems pretty good. Also, new Drifter armor. We're getting new Drifter armor in the update. Overall, I think this is cool, but not a huge fan of the helmet. We'll have to see how it looks open, but it is like, that is like a panel that is wide. Can't really tell in this screenshot super well, but I think that the outfit itself is good. Helmet, a little weird. A little weird of a helmet. We're also getting Gauss Deluxe, which you saw last dev stream. And Zephyr Deluxe's Operator Armor is getting its Drifter version next update. So for those of you that own that, you're going to get the Drifter version of that. Also, huge quality of life. Very important for those of us that have been doing a lot of Duviri. Random items show before runs. So here you can see the UI mock-up here, what it's going to be in game, where you'll have the Despair Spiral. This is the Duviri menu. And then below that, you'll be able to hover over the Warframe icon or the weapon icon. This is going to be unlocked on a really early intrinsics in one of the trees, probably like within the first 4, I would imagine. And this will allow you to hover over either one. It'll show you what your choices are going to be before you go. This is absolutely excellent. It is the exact change that it needed to be. It solves so many problems all at once with people not getting what they want for Steel Path runs, and like maybe they would have chosen to do a regular run instead, or like, you know, they need to fix their build for like Mesa or whoever or whatnot of a Warframe you haven't played in a while. Really, really useful. This should make it so that public matches drop less often because people will know what they're getting going in. And like just so much consistency across like just being able to interact with Duviri in a positive way where you don't have to go down and then go back to your ship and fix things and then go down and just this really unfortunate back and forth that we will sometimes encounter now should be fixed up with just this change. It is really, really good. I'm very much looking forward to just like knowing what I'm getting. And whenever I have like not great selections, I can do regular path and get some pathos clamps. And when I have really good options, I can just go do steel path and work on my circuit and all that kind of stuff is really excellent. Really good to see that. Also, the Duviri Drifter is getting specific keybinds, so for those of you that want to like rebind your stuff specifically for the Drifter in Duviri, you're going to be able to do that. This is great for accessibility, obviously. Really good to see that change. Maw fishing is going to be made easier. It's going to get about a 33% increase in the amount of time that you have to complete it, so that's going to be simpler. Also, those of you that saw my Soma video, they are looking into the Soma Incarnate. We know that they are going to make the Hadasatya augment work, which should be really nice, but they are also reviewing the stats of it. So that's also excellent. So the Soma Incarnate, for those of you that were disappointed by that, they are looking into it. At the very least, we're going to get the augment to be working. Hopefully, we see some statistical changes as well. But that is all really, really good. Also, self-damage change. So we talked about a self-damage change before where self-damage would come back and the knockdown would go away. Basically, they just told us straight out, like, they tried some things. They didn't like how it was. Like, they didn't think it was fun or better than what they have now. So that's shelved for now. It's something they might come back to, but for now, that's not really a thing that they're messing with. They're doing other shit. Kind of just gave up on it for now, moved on for the moment, which I think is good. Always prefer to see them like just scrap this, rather than like, well, let's just push it through and just, you know, change it until it works and just put it in. Like just scrapping it is definitely like the much better approach. If like they can't get it to a place they're happy with now. So much appreciate that. Also, as expected, Wisp Prime is here. Well, not here quite yet. Coming out very soon. But we have Wisp Prime access. She looks fantastic. As always, these notes are going to be available on the site, which is linked down below if you want a really high resolution of this image. Zach was nice enough to hook me up with like the actual concept for Wisp Prime to put on the site, which is fantastic. Also, we have the Gunson Prime, so we're going to get some more Warfans. Warfans actually have a really good stance, so these have a really good potential to actually be fantastic weapons. And then the Fulman Prime, which is a fantastic weapon. Usually for newer players, the big difficulty here with the Fulman Prime is going to be whether or not it can compete with the Tenet Archiplasmor. Because traditionally, what has been the case, at least in my mind, has been you use the Fulman as a newer player on a 100 munitions build with Zephyr. That's like a really easy, really good access point to getting into Steel Path. Then eventually you graduate to the Tenet Archiplasmor, which is essentially just the better version of the Fulmor. If the Fulman Prime can be an equivalent or even maybe better version of the Tenet Archiplasmor, that sounds fantastic. If it is like an equivalent, that's great. If it is better, that's also great. But yeah, so the Fulman really is really solid. Fulmor? Did I say the Fulmor? My bad if I did. Whatever. We're recording this live. Here we go. We are also getting a Drifter/Operator Prime armor. You can join the Shadow Wizard Money Gang. This shit actually looks really good. I'm not a fan of the helmet, but it might look really good down. And I don't wear any of the helmets up pretty much ever. So yeah, this looks nice. I think this is like a really solid armor set. It's probably a set I would use like mixed with other sets. But yeah, this is overall pretty nice. I think this is going to be a really solid armor. We'll have to see how it looks on like all the different models and everything. Like obviously what it looks on the Operator is going to be a little bit different than how it looks on the Drifter and so on and so forth. The male female variants, all that good business. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep it straight out here. I'm buying the Wisp Prime Access. It looks really good. Everything in it looks really good. I have high hopes for all of it. And Duviri has been so fantastic that like generally that's my bar for like, yeah, I'm gonna buy the Prime Access. So we buy in this one. But yeah, moving on. KULLERVO stuff. The theming, Vengeance, Knives, Prison. He's going to be earnable in Duviri, so he'll be available to new players. We'll see about the resource requirements on that, but earnable in Duviri. There's going to be a new island that is going to be showing up. It is a dungeon island that will appear during Sorrow, Fear, and Anger, but on launch for the first 2 weeks, there's going to be a KULLERVO's Hold launch event, where the island will always appear if you choose that mode, so that you can farm him out, essentially. The way that you're going to get him is by defeating him in a prison battle as your Drifter, and then you're going to get a currency from him that you're going to turn in with a Krithis, and then get his parts, and so on and so forth. His abilities, we did not get a ton of specific information on. We know that he has a Raining Daggers attack, he has a Teleport Heavy attack, and he might have a Knife Fan and a Knife buff of something where his knives are around him. These two might just be moves that he does in the fight with him, because that's how they showed off his abilities, is just to show the fight with the Drifter fighting him. We got hard confirmation that the Teleport Heavy Attack and the Raining Daggers are abilities that are his, that we will have. But the others, they said there's some attacks that he only has during the fight with him with the Drifter, just to make the fight more interesting. So we are not 100% sure if Knife Fan and Knife Buff are his other abilities, but they could very well be. Also, yeah, I already said this part. Also, at TennoCon, we know that we're not getting a KULLERVO Prex card, but instead of the KULLERVO Prex card, we're going to get like a 400-page TennoCon art book that's going to be available. I will be picking this up. I'm going to get the 10-year anniversary art book from TennoCon. That's gonna happen. So yeah, I prefer that over a Prex card. I think maybe eventually a Prex card, maybe. But yeah, no, I think I prefer the big 10-year anniversary art book over that personally. But yeah, basically just like tons of good information, like tons of good stuff, more stuff for Duviri, like better UI stuff, more cool armor, like the static portal seemed great for arcanes, like just generally like more activities, more variety, more decrees. Just seems really good. Just seems like really good stuff overall. Seems like they are just giving us a expansion on Duviri with a bunch of cool stuff, a really neat Prime access that like looks super solid. I think that Wisp Prime's design is really good. People will be concerned, however, about this cape. This is not the Prime Sindana. This is a part of her. It is currently unknown. I did ask, but it was unknown to Zach whenever I asked whether or not this is an auxiliary. I know. I don't mind the cape. I like the cape, but a lot of there's gonna be, I'm just gonna say, a lot of people are gonna riot in the streets if this little cape that covers her ass is not an auxiliary. I'm just gonna say it. It's really, I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be a whole problem if that's not an auxiliary. I'm just saying, if it's just for a variety of reasons. But yeah, that is the Devstream 171. We are still going with the timer and the streamathon, so you can expect all the way up until the end of the month 14-hour streams from me. As an update at the end of the video here, for anyone on YouTube, there are new floors in the house, and also we have hot water now, so that's very good. So yeah, that's good stuff. Expect long streams, expect good streams, expect many things to be happening. We're gonna go farm some more Duviri because I need Pathos clamps. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. Thanks for hanging out. Come check out the stream. Good breakdown, good stream, good stuff, good. All right, everybody, welcome to post Duviri month, and thank you to all of the new and returning patrons. There are a lot of them, and it is hugely appreciated for the support. But we have our $10 patrons: Alex Parnham, Arbiter Daydream, Brutus Salazar, Dylan Dworsky, Ethrain, Hafan, IQ is Thick, James Harsthorne, JC4 Science, Jesse Richens, Joshua Adams, Lou Zanth, Alec X Williams, Minty Ginja, Mitchta, Paradise, Tamarielic Wastelander, Zach Zahner, and Zerafir to thank especially. But thank you very much to all of the new patrons and everybody that has jumped on board since like Duviri in this last month. It is hugely appreciated and really helps me run the site and just like get a lot of stuff done and get a lot of guides out. This month you can expect me to hit up as many of the Incarnans as I can possibly get my hands on, because that is gonna be a big focus here as we see that new stuff. And of course work on more guides and things with the free-to-play 3 coming back around and all that. Yeah. Thanks, everyone.